Hey everybody, sorry I can't be with you today. I want to talk you through the two-way table notes, which is the front of your handout, and then your practice will be the back of the worksheet. So a two-way table is just a way to show statistical data that is usually more categorical in nature than numerical. So some definitions: while frequency is the number of times that something occurs, relative frequency tells us the number of times something occurs compared to the total. To find relative frequency, we're going to set up a ratio comparing frequency to total, and then we're going to convert the ratio to a percentage. Read questions carefully to determine whether the total is referring to the entire table or a specific row or column. Okay, so several families were surveyed about if they had kids and if they had pets. Below are the results. Fill in the table, then answer the question. So the first thing that we're going to do is fill in the table using the given information we have. So for example, for kids and pets, we would subtract 63 minus 22, which would give us 41. Then, for example, for total pets, we could add 41 and 23, which would give us 64. For no kids total, we could subtract 125 minus 63, which would give us 62. For no kids, no pets, we could subtract 62 and 23, which would give us 39. And then total no pets, we could add 22 and 39, which would give me 61. Quick double check, if I add 64 plus 61, I should get 125, which I do, and that tells me that all of my calculations for the table were correct. So now we're going to look at some relative frequencies. So of the people surveyed, what is the relative frequency of people who have pets? So we're looking out of all the people that were surveyed. So we're looking out of 125, so that's going to be my denominator. And then out of the 125, how many actually have pets? That's going to be 64. So then we're going to divide 64 by 125, and then our decimal, and we can multiply that by 100. So we're looking at about 51%. Of the people who have kids, what's the relative frequency of people who have pets? So now we're just looking at the total people who have kids. So the total people who have kids are 63. Out of those 63, how many have pets? That's going to be 41. So then we're going to do 41 divided by 63 and change that to a percentage. So we're looking at about 65%. And then of the people who do not have kids, what's the relative frequency of people who have pets? So how many people don't have kids is 62. Out of the 62, how many actually have a pet? That would be 23. So then we change that into a percentage, and we're getting about 37%. So a possible conclusion that we could draw here would be that people who have kids are more likely to have pets. Again, it's not a guarantee, but it's just something that appears to be more likely. Okay, so we'll try a second one here. Feel free to pause the video and try this one yourself if you would like. Several middle school teachers and middle school students were asked about their favorite movie genre. The results are shown in the two-way table below. Fill in the table, then answer the questions. So again, we're going to fill in the blanks. So for example, in the total column, 500 minus 260 would give me 240. Total drama, 61 plus 70 would be 131. I could add up the numbers there in the total then. So I'm going to add 116, 121, 131, and subtract that from 500. And we get 132 for science fiction. Action, so for teachers, 116 minus 66 would be 50. We could do 132 minus 58 for science fiction, so that would give me 74. And then for comedy, for teachers, we could add 50, 58, and 70, and subtract that from 240. So 62 for teachers. And then 121 minus 62, that would give me 59 for students who like comedy. Again, quick check, I could double check that all my students add up to 260. So if we add 66, 59, 74, and 61, we do get 260. Okay? All right, what is the relative frequency of teachers surveyed? So what this is asking for is out of the total, so out of 500, what's the percentage of teachers surveyed? So we're looking at 240 out of 500. That's going to give me 48%. And then of the students surveyed, what's the relative frequency of those whose preferred genre is not science fiction? So we're just looking at a total students. So we're looking at a 260. Out of the 260, not science fiction. So I could do 260 minus 74. So that's 186 out of 260 don't like science fiction. So then if we divide that, so we're looking at about 72%. Okay, so that's our notes on two-way tables. Again, on the back of this notes paper is a practice worksheet. You do have one where you start with raw data, so you will have to count and then put it into your table. Once you finish the practice, if you still have time, there is a two-way table Kahoot link posted in Schoology. There is also a, sorry, I lost my train of thought. There is also an IXL, 8th grade level, which is level J, and then you're looking for JJ4, which is finding probabilities using a two-way table, which is the same idea. Okay, I will see you guys on Monday. There is no new homework for this weekend, so you are just finish your practice in class. All right, have a great day, guys. Thank you.